What's up, nation? Today we are talking about potentially one of the biggest updates we've seen around my 2022 game of the year, which is none other than Elden Ring and the upcoming DLC. Because if you've been keeping up with this game at all, you may realize that it has been since February 28th of 2023 that the official Twitter account for Elden Ring tweeted out the following post: "Rise tarnished and let us walk a new path together. An upcoming expansion for Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree is currently in development. We hope you look forward to new adventures in the lands between." Now, interestingly, prior to this, we actually saw a free content update for Elden Ring when many would have already expected to potentially hear about what the DLC has in store for us, because historically, From Software games actually do receive updates quite a bit quicker than the situation we've been in with Elden Ring so far. And obviously, that's kind of a foregone conclusion with the size and scale of Elden Ring. I mean, if you look at it, it's clearly their most ambitious project ever, and that paid dividends for them, with the game selling over 20 million units within the first 2 months of being available on the market. But we did see that December 7th, 2022 free Coliseum update, which of course was a big update for PvP players, which would allow players to battle each other within those arenas. Now, to first talk about the history of FromSoft and their DLC updates, and why a lot of people are asking questions around why we haven't heard anything and why that may be getting ready to change soon, you have the following post over from Games Radar, which looks at the release schedule between an official Soulsborne Sekiro game being released and when they receive some kind of notable DLC or update. Dark Souls 1 had 11 months to Artorias of the Abyss DLC that was released as part of the Prepare to Die edition. It took another 2 months on top of that to become purchasable individually. Dark Souls 2 then just had 3 months to the Crown of the Sunken King DLC, which was the first of multiple DLCs we saw for Dark Souls 2. Bloodborne had 8 months of gap between when the game launched and when we got the Old Hunters DLC. Dark Souls 3 was 7 months to the Ashes of Ariandel DLC, and Sekiro, with the longest gap, got a free content update 1 year and 7 months out. And at the time of filming this video in October 2023, when you stop and look around and realize that Elden Ring released in February of 2022, we are clearly past all of those timeline expectations with no official update. And before we hop into a couple of the pieces of evidence that may suggest that that's all about to change with an exact potential release date, as well as when this thing might actually be sold and available for us to download, if you're new here, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on your bell notification. And you can first see the following post over on the R Gaming Leaks and Rumors Reddit, where it reads: "Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree potentially planned to be shown at the Game Awards in December, followed by a release date of February 5th, 2024. The post then goes on to say, so this is coming from YouTuber Zion Storm on his Twitter page, who has a decent track record for From Software stuff, particularly discussions around Elden Ring, dialogue leaks around 2 years ago, and also some predictions about Elden Ring patch updates. And he has the following to say: "Unverified sources are telling me that Elden Ring DLC is set to be shown at the Game Awards, plus a February 5th, 2024 release. These sources have shown signs of insight, but nothing concrete. Consider this just a rumor for now." Now, the post also points out that if true, this does fall in line with what we have seen from Software's parent company, according to one of their financial results, which claimed that this DLC is on track to release before the end of their fiscal year, which would be March 31st, 2024. Now, to then add more fuel to this fire, we also have Mr. Jeff Keeley himself, who of course tries to ramp up as many big announcements for the Game Awards as possible. He tries to grow the show every year in terms of viewership, and you oftentimes do that with some very big, groundbreaking new announcements. This is the same person that we saw organize Summer Game Fest, and of course lock down the actual original reveal trailer for Elden Ring when it comes to that gameplay and story. Literally the first footage that we saw of this game following the 2019 announcement, and he tweeted the following post, which reads: "It was very special to spend time with From Software and see the brand new office and the team's well-earned the Game Award statues. Thank you for your hospitality." Now, is there a possibility that the information that Zion Storm was provided is false, and that Jeff Keeley just coincidentally was stopping in to visit his friends at From Software while making the rounds with various different Japanese studios? Absolutely, and you shouldn't take any of this as verified fact for a reveal to be coming at the December 7th Game Awards 2023, but I do really think that it is time. From Software has successfully launched, and I believe are very happy with Armored Core 6 that seems to be selling above their expectations, and it absolutely is being picked up by an entire new fan base that just has that level of confidence in From Software projects at this point in time, and they definitely wanted to give that game a window to breathe. This was even brought up with interviews with Bandai Namco, who of course publishes all of From Software's games, and the idea would be is now that we are past the moment of Armored Core 6 being in the spotlight and it's really done the initial numbers that they want it to do, they can now shift focus to promoting what is next with Elden Ring DLC, Shadow of the Erdtree. There's also a lot of reason to believe that this is going to be a one and done massive DLC update. Not only has it been so much longer than any other previous FromSoft game that has had DLC developed for it since we've heard about it, but there's also some internal rumors and rumblings and leaks online, if you do buy into them, that potentially there was once a plan to release 2 separate smaller DLC packs, and instead From Software did choose to do that smaller free Coliseum update for PvP, and then chose to focus on one absolutely huge expansion all at once with the Shadow of the Erdtree DLC. When it comes to what this DLC will actually entail and whether or not we are going to go to entirely new parts of a already vast and open map remains to be seen, but if I'm a betting man, I would expect multiple brand new playable areas, multiple brand new boss fights, in addition to some great lore to carry on the ending of Elden Ring. This very well could take place before any of the events of Elden Ring, but I won't spoil the end of the game. But if you know what happens at the end of the game, it does seem like this would be a logical conclusion to progress the lore and the story. And there's tons of various theories and deep dive conversations online that you can go find about when and how this might be taking place. But I do think that it is a fairly safe bet to expect some kind of Elden Ring DLC news at the upcoming Game Awards, and I would definitely tune into that on December 7th if you are an Elden Ring fan. And I personally can't wait to immerse myself back in this world. Over 100+ hours played, and after platinuming the game on the PS5, I decided to step back and give it a break, and I haven't gone back to it yet, which for me personally makes this DLC expansion all that more exciting. I can't wait to fall back in love with Elden Ring all over again, and that's where I really want to hear from you guys at this point in the video. Are you excited for any of these big updates and claims online that we don't have to wait too much longer for Elden Ring DLC news? What are you expecting from the DLC expansion? Do you think it will indeed be featured at the Game Awards this year, considering FromSoft's and Jeff Keeley's relationship? And bonus question, if you had to put your money on it, do you think that this DLC expansion is taking place after the events of Elden Ring, or do you think somehow it is a prequel and we maybe are traveling back in the past like we have seen From Software do with DLCs in past games? But regardless of your thoughts and feelings on everything we talked about today, I do look forward to hearing from you all in the comments down below before you leave the video, as I do look forward to getting a back and forth conversation started with you all around these topics. Go watch yesterday's video next if you haven't already, which is on screen right now. Also make sure you like, subscribe, turn on your notification bell, and I will see you guys in the next video.